Good morning, guys. It's your coach Brian here with, your post-workout morning thoughts and motivation here. And just got through with leg day. Goodness gracious, I hate leg day. I don't like it. I'd much rather work my arms. But it needs to be done, and it's the largest body part you have, and it's extremely important to work your legs and to build those muscles, because that is your foundation. Anyway, thinking, during my workout this morning and about this past week, given that we are here entering our Friday, this past week, there were some challenges along the way, man, I'm telling you. Just unexpected things at work. Nothing went routine for a few days. I was thrown off my routine as far as my work schedule goes, and it is what it is. You just learn to adjust to it and adapt and keep moving forward with it, and and just do the best you can. And but I also broke routine with some other things, and that's what I want to talk to you about this morning. We all have bad habits. As healthy as I eat, as much as I exercise literally just about every single day, we all have those bad habits. And, there's some that I haven't begun to work on giving up, one of which is too much coffee. But there are two bad habits that I worked at giving up this past week, and I want to share those with you. One of them is that I had now it's just a week into it, so they say it takes it can take 21 days to break a bad habit, so we'll see how this goes, but I am hopeful because I made it through this first week, and that's a victory. And as long as I can make it through the weekend, we'll be good. But these two habits, there's nothing wrong with these particular things. But when they become habit, and when you mindlessly go to them, and then you begin to use them as a crutch, and you begin to rely upon them, that's when it becomes a bit of an issue. That's when it becomes, you need to think about it, you need to reevaluate and do something about it and break that, so that you're not dependent upon it. And these two things, the first one is TV. I've chosen this past month, a 5-year anniversary of beginning with Beachbody. I have finally feel like the light bulb has gone off, and I have decided to go all in with coaching. And one of the things that I recently gave up this past week, this bad habit, is TV, guys. Is specifically when I take my lunch break, I work on my own. I'm out and about. I'm driving a truck. I'm going from restaurant to restaurant. And, I work by myself. I'm usually not with anyone. And so when I take my lunch break, I usually, while I'm eating my lunch, I want something to do. I just don't want to look at, sit there and aimlessly look out into the ocean, or look wherever it is, as beautiful as that is. So I want to take my mind out of where I am and, just escape for a few minutes, if you will. And so I turn it to Netflix. And I watch Netflix while I'm eating my lunch. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But when there's other things I could be watching that would be more productive to my growth, or listen to, to watch or to listen to that would be productive to my growth, toward personal development, at the end of the day, Netflix isn't helping me to, isn't helping me to grow as a person, unless maybe I'm watching Tony Robbins documentary. But lest I regress. That was the first one. And I'll tell you what, this past week, I think it was Tuesday I did that. That was extremely difficult. Extremely difficult to do. But once I did it and I got past it, it was like I climbed over a mountain, is what I felt like. like, wow, you know, I accomplished it, I did it, you know, it's going to make the next day and the next day a little bit easier and a little bit easier, and it sure was. And the next one that I gave up this past week was drinking alcohol every single night. Whether just a glass of wine or whether some vodka and some wine, or, you know, whatever it is, beer, wine, alcohol, you know, in any form. Regardless of how medicinal, you know, I do believe that red wine can be toward your health. I needed to give it up because I was going to it every single night I got home from work. And I wanted to break that bad habit. I don't want to feel like I need to go to that every single day when I get home from work. And that was difficult. Not nearly as difficult as the TV. However, and the same thing with the TV at night. I also did that too, guys. Working on cutting that out in the evening as well, you know, working on my business, working on connecting with people, you know, toward building relationships and things like that. You know, because that's what matters at the end of the day, man, building relationships and connecting with people, and not just mindlessly vegging out in front of Netflix every night. And wasting that time. Although it like I said before, it does have its, you know, have its moments when it's healthy. It's okay to do that. Just not using it as a crutch and as a way to escape every single night. That's where it becomes an issue. And so I share these things with you guys. I share them with you to encourage you to examine, you know, things in your life, and you can't accomplish it all in one shot. You've got to take it one step at a time. So find a bad habit in your life that you maybe need to break, whether it's, you know, too much coffee, whether it's too much soda or too much TV, or, you know, whatever it is, smoking, too much alcohol, you know, and work to cut back on it, or to just cut out that one habit every day and do it for 3 weeks and see how you feel afterwards. I feel better having done both this past week, and I hope to continue it, and that's my plan. Maybe making it public, it'll help keep me accountable. But I'll tell you the one thing, speaking of accountability, the one thing that has helped me stay focused and accountable are these support and accountability groups. I mean, I've not shared that I've done this in them, but I know that I'm doing it, and I know that I'm working to be better. So being in these support and accountability groups that I'm in have helped me to look at and to re-examine where I need to cut back on these bad habits. And though I've not made it public in these groups, they are the reason that I re-examine these things and have cut these things out and have worked to make my life better by doing these things. And I think it's awesome, and I think it's a great way to grow, and a great way to stay supported and motivated and accountable, and to further and accomplish your goals. So I encourage you with that. You know, look at your life, look at whatever bad habits you may have going on, and work to cut something out. You know, work to replace it, not just cut it out, but replace it with a good habit, and getting it plugged into a good support and accountability group, and see where it takes you guys. And if you need something like that, if you need, you know, a good support and accountability group to help keep you supported, accountable, and motivated, reach out to me. I'd be glad to help you, and glad to help you get plugged into one. So guys, get out there today, make your Friday great, and make your weekend even better.